Beautiful people, welcome to the Good Culture Show. Come on now, guys. This is a place where we get to be curious with creatives, insightful with innovators. We get to think deeply with theologians and pontificate with philosophers.
What's all the P's?
Poets, prophets, pundits, practitioners, peers. I mean, you know.
Polymaths?
Polymaths.
I still don't know what that means.
A polymath is just someone who just does a lot of good things. Just a lot of dope stuff.
Word.
We also call those people show Barakas. And so, this is pretty much what we do.
Yeah.
And today we get to talk about relationships. We get to talk about relationships, but more specifically, single people and relationships, dating, like putting yourself out there. And we're going to have wonderful guests. We're going to have two different panels. We're going to have a game show as usual, which is one of my favorite parts of this show. And you'll get to see some interviews and some different skits and whatnot. But I'm excited about our conversation. But before we get into that, Jay, how are you feeling, bro? Just how are you feeling on
Man,
this
I'm
wonderful
good.
day?
It's good to be here.
Good.
I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? We have some good guests.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a wonderful time. I've been doing a little research about the top reasons why people are not getting married.
Man.
And I'm sure some of this stuff is very common. And I'm going to read off a couple of them. And here, one is the fear of commitment, financial concerns, or career priorities. People are just like, nah, I'm too broke to be getting married. Or they have this belief that I have to have a certain amount of money saved, or I have to have this sort of stability before. I remember when I was dating my wife, and my wife was like, no nonsense. She was like, if we date, we are dating to get married. And I was struggling. And so we broke up for a period of time, and the dude who was discipling me said, what's wrong with you? Like, what are you? I was like, man, I don't know. I ain't got it together. He's like, bro, you ain't gonna never have it together. You'll never ever be in a place where you think you have it all figured out.
Right.
And that kind of helped me out. It was very simple. It wasn't like, the deepest proverb, but I was like, hey, you know what? And I was struggling. I was still a college student. So she had graduated. She was actually making more money than me. Let's not even. She was actually providing for me. Let's just be real. But that ain't how it is no more, though.
Hey, tell them.
Come on. All right, let's keep on going. Previous relationship trauma. Waiting to get married. So people are waiting to get married at an older age. So they're, back in the day, folks would get married in their 20s, some in their teens, 20s. Now folks are waiting to their 30s.
Yeah.
And so,
kind of crazy.
And usually when you wait that long, there's a chance that you may not find the person you want. And so you end up not being married, right? Change of social norms and the views of marriage.
That's real.
That's huge.
That's real. I feel like that's going to be one that, a lot of people today are resonating with.
Yeah, and especially this one right here, the one that follows is because this is a change of norms and views on marriage, because people are not seeing the utility in marriage. So what they do is they just cohabitate. And so now cohabitation is skyrocketing. Folks are just like, well, what's the benefit of actual having some sort of contractual relationship where I can have my own bank account, you can have your own bank account, we just live together, enjoy all the pleasures of marriage.
Right.
But I can escape this thing at any point, right? And so that's their views. We obviously know as people who believe wholeheartedly in marriage, but not just because of its social contract, but we believe in its benefits.
Facts.
Right? And I'll share a little bit of why I think that. Lack of a suitable partner. People's expectations are probably, or some people, brothers is just, or sisters too, are just not showing up.
Yeah.
They're not showing up. Desire for independence. People just don't want anybody telling them what to do.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But for real, yeah.
And also fear of divorce because it's expensive, or just the fear of having to experience something like that. What do you think about that list?
That's crazy. I mean, some of that stuff is relatable, things that I think every person's going to have to work through.
Yeah.
Some of it's a little, I won't say irrational, but it is definitely a lot more, fear-based. It's definitely like, I don't want to get married, a good thing, because of the bad that could happen.
Right.
You know, and that could be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Whereas if you're not thinking of that as an option, and if your partner is not thinking of that as an option, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Your husband, your wife, or whatever, it's less likely to happen because it's not an option for either of you. So, I mean, but it's a definitely a relatable list. As you went through, I could hear, you know, people who are saying, hey, yeah, I agree with this because this reason, you know.
Yeah, I think most of these can be answered by a maxim that we live in a society that want rewards but do not want to sacrifice.
That's crazy. And I think too, it's just a hyper individualism that's in our
Absolutely.
day and age, to where, I mean, that list is all about how I feel, you know, and my fears, and
No, yeah, these are some real.
it's real things, but it's like it goes to show you can only control yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think a lot of them are stemmed from thinking about numero uno.
Yeah.
First and foremost, you know, look, I got a career. I am trying to be independent. I don't need somebody else's things getting in my way. I don't trust that another person can come to the table with the same things that I value,
Yes.
or whatever it is, you know. I don't like these people that happen to be around me that may be available and may be good candidates. So it's just a hyper individualism
Yeah.
versus thinking about, you know, thinking through these very valid concerns through a lens that's much more communal and corporate than probably
These things,
a few years ago, you know. Or
these things don't disappear when you get married. Like, these concerns still exist. You still are a selfish individual. The benefit of being in a covenant relationship is the lack of an easy escape. And you have to reconcile with the decision that I've promised to this person, but more importantly to the Lord, that I would die to myself. When you don't have a contractual obligation or a covenant relationship with somebody, then you can escape. And I love the example that Tim Keller gives. He talks about this consumer versus covenant. We see everything as transactional, as consumer based. Think about churches. We go to church. If we don't like it, we leave. We get in relationships. We don't like it, we leave. We go to a job. We don't like it, we leave. He uses this example. He talks about, you go to a market, you don't have any real obligation to the vendor. You purchase what you want, you leave. It's a very selfish transaction. However, you can't do that in marriage relationships or in relationships. You have to consider the other person. And because every area of our life now is self-centered and very transactional, marriage has become that as well. So, but there has been some research. I did some research also with the Institute of Family Services, and they did say that 36% of people who have been married or who are married said that they are happy, as opposed to 24% of people who have never been married. So, according to almost all research, the happy index for people who are married is much higher than people who have not been married. So there are benefits, not only just religious benefits, but there's also social benefits. People just seem to be happier. They seem to live longer. So I don't know about you, but I'm going to live. Amen. So while we're at it, why don't you check out this video? Look, I see the dating videos, and I see that it's difficult out here for you individuals looking for love. And I've been out of the dating game for 21 years. I know I don't look it. Okay, let's move past that. But I recognize that the dating game these days it's a Whitley, Dwayne Wayne situation. And by that, I mean it's a different world. And if you didn't get that, then we're already starting off bad, okay? But just because I've been out of the game for 21 years doesn't mean that I can't help. And sorry, sisters, this is primarily for my brothers. Brothers, I believe that I can help you with first date tips. All right, the first rule, wear black, gentlemen. Wear black, trust me, especially if you don't work out. I need you to dress like you're about to rob somebody. If you go out to eat, ask her to pray. And if she says Father God more than 3 times, then she's got daddy issues. We're done. Father God, we thank you. Father God, we just praise you. Father God is... Ask her what her favorite book is. And if she says the Bible, you'd be like, okay, Coretta Scott,
I get it. You're special. You're righteous. Okay, let's play that game. What book in the Bible? And if she says like one of the minor prophets, then it's a toss-up. We don't know what we're getting in that situation. Because you may get the next Fannie Lou Hamer, but you also might get the next Juanita Bynum. So I don't know. It's up to you after that. I led you to the water. And if she says, well, I really don't read much, then give her the bill and see if she reads that. And maybe she'll pay it without noticing how much you guys spent on that date. And if she says one of her favorite books was written by Bell Hooks, then she's probably going to be coming out the closet soon. So just build towards a good friendship. You guys be good friends. Black brothers, if you are going out on a date with a white woman, ask her what is the ideal date in her mind, and she will answer. And then hopefully she will ask you, what is your ideal date? And then that's when you look her straight in the eye and you say, January 1st, 1863. And then you see what her response is. All right, different scenario. You're sitting across the table from this beautiful, refined woman. She's probably dressed very classy. But we need to know what type of sister we're dealing with. This is where you pull out your phone and you play this song and we see what her response is. If she like, hey, you probably need to turn that off because I'm not trying to act up tonight. She's a keeper. However, there is another acceptable response. If she stares dead into your face, unbothered, with a "you will not break me, Serena Williams at Wimbledon" stare, then she is a keeper because she's onto your games and you need a woman who has self-control. Bring up this crucial scenario to her. Say you and I are partners in spades. If she says, I don't really play spades, you immediately leave. However, if she says, okay, say you have 4 books. I say that I have 3 in a possible. How many books should we go for? If she says, let's go 7, get rid of her. We don't keep sandbaggers, okay? She's not taking risks. We know if I got 3 in a possible, that's really 4 because you got 4, so that's really 5. We should be going 9 on GP. While you two are out in public, I need you to point in the distance and say, hey, yo, is that old girl from the Love and Hip Hop show? And if she says, which one? Before she whips her head back around, I need you to be 34 meters away, okay? Because we don't need that kind of drama in our life. All right, so a day after your date, okay? I need you to take a nice picture of yourself, post that thing. Then what you need to do is pay your female friends or family members to comment on that post saying, ooh, you look good, you fine, is you single? All that kind of stuff, right? And then she's going to see it and she's going to think, you know what? He is kind of fine. I guarantee this will work. It's science, people. But in all seriousness, I know it's difficult out there, and I want you guys to really just grow, continue to listen, be compassionate, be charitable, be people who serve. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be the best version of yourself. And sometimes being the best version of yourself is not being yourself at all, okay? Be somebody else. Fake it until you make it. Lock her down. Some of y'all are 6s and your girl's are 8. Lock it down now before it's too late, before she finds out that you're a 6, okay? This is all I got for you. I usually get paid thousands of dollars for this type of information, but I'm giving it to you for free because I'm a nice person. I want to see you win. That's it. That's all I got. Go forth and change the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we're about to have a wonderful discussion. Clap it up for our not necessarily.
Thank y'all.
Not our contestants, but our volunteers, better yet. Our volunteers, individuals who are willing to not necessarily be experts on relationships, but to be experts about themselves. All right, come on now, somebody. That's a word. We're going to start off by introducing ourselves. We're going to go to the far right. Justin, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Because guess what? There's single women watching this.
Yeah.
So, you know,
wonder.
Share the highlights.
It's a profile. What's your profile?
My name is Justin Dewson.
Look at the deep voice. The deep voice.
Yeah.
My name is Justin. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I work in television as a production assistant. So I've been here in Atlanta for 2.5 years and just living life in the A.
Let's go. Let's go.
Sir.
Way to go, Justin. Way to go.
J Deuce.
You already got a couple hits on your profile that quick. Look at that. Look at that. Emma, let's go.
So, yes, my name is Emma, and I am not single. I'll start there.
But you're not married.
But I'm not married.
Okay.
But
But.
I'm intentionally in a relationship. And so
I love that. I love that. That's good.
So I am a research coordinator for a company. I graduated from Emory. Woo, Emory. So I'm pre-med. I'm applying to med school.
Let's go.
That's fire.
Yes. All right.
My name is Kalechi Iwaba, and I've been in Atlanta for about 5-ish years now. I'm an engineer by trade, and free time, I love soccer, so playing a whole lot of soccer is what I like to do.
And so the person who is willing, the person who wants to lock you down has to, the whole sports thing. Give us a pro.
Side note, also similar to Emma, sorry. That I am dating or in a relationship, not yet married, hopefully to be married. But yeah.
Does she know this?
She knows this.
Okay.
She should know this. If she doesn't know this, I'm in trouble.
All right. So then let's get into that then. So as you individuals who are in a relationship that's in pursuit of marriage, how did that decision come about to like, all right, you know what, what were you just dating to just date, or was it intentional? Like, hey, before I date this person, I need to know how serious they are. I need to know their intentions. How did you approach that?
Ladies first.
Okay. All right. So we met on Hinge. And so that is like a different dynamic. Like it never was like, oh, like we're friends and then like, oh wait, nah. It was like from the first date, it was like we're both believers. Like we were, I think, intentional from the beginning as far as like the way that like I have dated in the past and that I like go about it is like if there's a point where I'm like I can't marry this person, then like that's it. Like, no more dates, no more like.
And what kind of qualifications does like can I marry this person? What does that mean?
Well,
is it only that they're a believer?
Well, no.
Okay.
No. And that's, I think at the beginning of my like Hinge era, that's what I thought. I was like, well, if I get the believer part like down, that's it. But no, there are so many more things that
you had some fails,
like,
is what I'm hearing.
What?
You had some fails on Hinge.
Just the couple, you know.
Okay.
Just the couple. That
a couple is like what, 6, 7, 8?
No.
12?
I mean, like,
that's
3,
crazy.
4.
I have another question, but about dating apps, but before that, I would love to get Kalechi's answer.
Yeah. I'm lazy when it comes to dating. So for me, it's like if we're not actually doing this seriously, then I'm out. So that was a big thing for me. It was like kind of one of the for first dates. I'm very big on let's call it what it is and keep it moving. So it was like first date was like what you about, and we just called a spade a spade.
And what does that mean? What you about?
Basically, it's like, tell me about yourself and your history. And we talked about dating history, talked about what do you do, where do you work, how do you spend your free time, do you care about going long term? How long is your longest relationship? Why has relationships not worked out? What are some of the issues? What are some red flags for you? What are some red flags for me? And just really like talking through. And usually during the conversation, you can get a feel for if somebody really is going to continue or if it's kind of like, yeah, this dude is too much or this dude is lame and let me keep it moving. So
do you feel like people have, when I say people, your age and maybe younger, do you think they've kind of given up on, this is obviously a harsh generalization, given up on trying to find people the old-fashioned way, or is it just mostly like by default, let's just go to apps?
I'll say for me, like, it was, like, if you think about now, like, what environments where you, like, meet people in, I mean, church.
Why are you laughing?
Like,
first of all, why did you laugh when you said church?
No, because that's, I mean, like, people go to church and, like, change churches because, like, they try to find, like, their man.
Got you.
Know?
Got you.
It's fine, but, like, I wasn't, like, I don't know, school, but, like, I didn't, like, there was not time for me to be, like, and I did go on a couple days from school and was just, like, this is not doing it. So, that was, like, Hinge for me was, like, a way to, like, do that. And
All right, so let me ask you this question. You said, how do I date? So let me ask that. How do you date? Do you prefer to date a person just in isolation, like you two go out, or do you try to bring them into your context and say, hey, here's the people that mean a lot to me. I want to know how you operate amongst other people, because people can perform very well by themselves. And so what is your Justin or, you know, anybody, like when you've dated somebody, have you ever got to the point where before it got serious, you were like, you know what, first let me bring you into community? Okay, that's a no. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say they was just sitting there like, nah.
I guess I'll answer that question. Well, for me, I'm a private person by nature. So I'm more likely to, especially if I see something is going well, I'm more likely to protect it and try to, like, before I start putting it out to everybody. So it's like I will tell my closest friends, like, hey man, this is happening, and they will know about it. But as far as like bringing her into a broader community, it's not gonna happen for a while, just personally.
so you're saying it's still not happening? You're like, yeah.
Oh, it's still like once you hear and you see.
Is she in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See?
I'm
My
trying
point
to-
exactly.
yes, absolutely.
My point exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very much like
Absolutely.
you will find out it's just like, oh, he married? What? Like, yeah. Like,
Are you serious? We gonna find out you gonna walk in with a ring on your finger?
Hey, it's some people you find out when you scroll on Instagram, like, oh snap, they had a wedding. That's crazy, bro.
now you find out
thought we was
like,
like
I think
cool,
also
like-
for me it's like once it's like, okay, we're engaged, it's like, all right, cool. Now, because for me it's also, I hate questions. So it's like, oh, what happened to so and so? It's like, I'm not dealing with that. So it's just like, we know for sure what's about to be brought into the full on community, and until that point is like everybody can kind of find out when they find out.
Justin, what kind of young lady are you looking for, my man? Who? Talk to the people.
This is real, man.
So what y'all don't see in the background is we got a few folks standing up looking at my dude.
Hold up. Trinity, you said we all know. Would you like to speak up? Would you?
Just like Spanish girls.
Oh, you don't like El Negros.
Yo, it's good because then you get the right.
No.
they can
Hold on,
help you out.
I gotta defend my man's.
Hold up. Jeremiah said he would like to defend your honor because he said that they're not properly representing who you are. Jeremiah, go ahead, speak up.
I just want to say, as far as I've heard and known from Justin, and we are pretty close, I would say, it's not that he doesn't.
It sounds like you about to
anybody
make an
except
excuse for him.
Hispanics. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's like, oh, I only want a Hispanic woman. It's just like, hey, I want a woman. If she happens to be Hispanic, that's a plus. You know what I'm saying? Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, that's a lot of copy out of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that I don't like mac and cheese. It's just that I don't like mac and cheese.
No.
That's exactly
It's
what
like,
that
it's like this. It's like this. I love Thanksgiving food, all Thanksgiving food. But if it happens to be mac and cheese, I would really like that thing.
Basically, what you're telling the people is like, please prepare some mac and cheese. For me.
That's the thing. But like,
So what I'm hearing is, I would prefer.
but
a
imagine.
Spanish woman.
See, this is what
So
this
is there-
what people do. This is the problem with people. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying people, but I mean something else. If I say,
love, my man.
If I say, first of all, if I just ask for food and you know I like mac and cheese, and you bring me something else and I eat it, you can't act like, oh no, but you wanted mac and cheese. But everybody like to hear what I didn't say. You know what I'm saying? So if he even if he said, can someone make me mac and cheese, and you like, we don't got no mac and cheese, and that's cool. Like, that don't mean he don't want to eat nothing.
Oh, that
you
means
know
he
what
gonna
I'm saying?
settle, huh?
The subliminals are so
Crazy.
strong.
I don't know. You gonna have to ask him. You gonna have to.
Justin, my bad.
You gonna have to ask him that.
All right.
I don't know how much he love mac and cheese.
we spent too much time on this racism. Justin, would you like to explain?
What
Just
I would-
talk to
all
the
I want to
people.
say is I'm flexible. You know, I want to.
Hey,
I want a
see?
God-fearing
What
woman.
I tell you? What I tell you? He's
Hold up,
flexible.
hold up. That we're not talking about that until you get married, sir.
I want a guy.
Oh, we talking about a different flexible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm talking about.
I'm sorry.
man, keeping it real.
Ethnically, I'm flexible.
you was talking-
No,
That's my bad.
Hey,
Crazy.
That's my bad.
I can see
I
how
want
you
a
mix
God-fearing
this
said
up.
I've
woman.
been married for a while. I can tell you a few things.
Say it a little louder.
All right,
you know, I want a God-fearing woman, someone who's consistent, creative. You know,
Okay.
hardworking. That's the type of woman I like.
Yeah.
Creative, working, God-fearing woman who speaks some Spanish.
Un poco.
There you go.
So I got
All right, so I got a question here.
Okay.
What if she's a dark-skinned Spanish woman?
Whoa.
Muy bien. That's good. That's fine.
Hey.
There you go. You can say it with your chest.
Crazy.
This man has been practicing since. God, I feel you. It's the Chicago in you. All right, so what are some red flags? They're Christians, though. But what are some red flags from people that you would typically think, like, oh, I probably could date this person because we share beliefs. You know, they fit these particular boxes. But on the first date, they may do this, and you're like, oh.
Go first.
I would say a woman that's like talking only about her career and just about money. I think that's something that's a red flag to me. Is to like, does she care about anything else? Like the community, other people? Is she gonna be more focused on just the career or the money than just like a family?
She ain't gonna be
whatnot?
submissive.
No, not necessarily. But just, you know, a variety of, you know, of interests is what I'm looking for. So.
That's good.
On your phone all the time. That's my.
I think
flag.
people in general, like, if you have lunch hangouts with friends, I had a gentleman who said everybody has to put their phones down, and the first person that picks up their phone
Picks
has
up
to
the
pay.
check too, right?
Has to pick up the check.
Yeah.
So
That's smart.
But I want to hear why specifically.
Yeah.
What is it about being on the phone that is the red flag?
It's the same thing about video games, and that is
Uh-oh.
a red flag. I
You
know
don't watch
this is controversial, but
snap.
when grown men play video games, like
That is crazy.
Like, it's something about that.
She just came at the whole U.S. at least.
Excuse
I
me.
know but I think it's an attention thing, right? Like your compulsion is to pick up your phone and like we're talking about whatever, or your compulsion is to be on the game. Like we're together, we're having time together, and like you cannot like stop yourself from focusing on your phone or something else. Then like to me that is like a red flag. It's a habit you developed. It's something like you have obviously an unhealthy relationship.
I agree with the phone, the games, the PlayStation.
She don't want to fight for attention. That's what it is. At all.
I got it. Yeah.
She want to walk in the room and he'd be like, yes.
I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to fight.
All right, quickly, red flags.
Boring. Just basically, can we have a good conversation or not?
Yeah.
If we can't talk about stuff that's happening culturally,
You want to
talk
be socially
about
aware.
Yeah, like
Okay.
not just socially, like just basically aware about what's happening in the world.
Gotcha.
And it's not just like I'm talking to a blank wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Advice on how to date. Like, what would be some advice that you guys would give folks out there? Like, this would be my insight or my gem to you. Anybody?
Let's start with Kalechi and work the other way around this
Let's go,
time.
Kalechi. Let's go. You've been nominated.
How to date? I would say be open to things not looking the way you expect it to look. I think our expectations can lead us in a certain direction, and it a lot of the times comes out to be disappointing. But I'll say be open to things, whether it's the type of person you may meet, what they look like, what they're into, their styles, and all those kind of things. I think be open to differences, but also be truly yourself as quickly as you can in a relationship, because time is precious. So, yeah.
Emma.
I would say involve people who are like don't keep it secret. Like you going on a first date,
That's
for
crazy.
safety- for safety for one
She
thing.
is right at him.
She basically said, "Don't do what Kalechi does." That's what I heard. No, it's okay. You can have a different
I'm saying
opinion.
I'm talking to women too, because like specifically
That
like,
is, yeah.
be safe. Like it's rough out here, right? So like just like make sure like people know. But I think it's very like it's a good thing for other people to know and to be able to ask you about it. and really specific advice if you're on like a dating app and they have the Christian tag. If they have something else in their profile about the Lord and like something about church or something about what they like, that I feel like that's a green. That's a green. That's a go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Justin.
I think it's important, especially for a guy, to be confident and be just courageous, when you're meeting a girl. Because I think that's something I hear that a lot of women are looking for these days. And just being transparent, especially for a guy, just like letting the girl know who you really are, and just not being afraid of worrying about what they think, but just allowing them to see different interests, different things you do, taking a step more and just getting to know them.
Jay, you single. Do you have any advice? You want to close us out with some advice?
That's crazy. Advice?
No? Ladies and gentlemen, clap it up for our volunteers. It's been a beautiful time. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Dating. Let's talk about dating. What was dating like for you?
And which phase of my life? Because there's several phases.
Yeah, we know you were hoochie before. I'm talking about when you came to the saving knowledge of Jesus Christ.
It's not a hoochie. Get it together.
What was your dating life like after you became a follower of the Lord?
I felt like I had to start over with who I was. I was like, I knew who I was before Christ. I was comfortable with the person, but now as a believer, how am I supposed to behave? Like, what am I supposed to say, not say, do, go? And so I felt insecure because I'm like, I'm not them, I can't be them, but they're the standard, I guess. So I felt like the men whom I encountered in the Christian realm were looking for something that I didn't have yet. I felt like many of them came from a household that was steeped in Christianity. Everyone from the grandfather down to the dog believed in Christ.
Not the dog.
Especially the dog.
I was out there worshiping.
They're part of the family.
That was I don't know. And you didn't date, or you weren't in the,
Not for a long time, no.
Yeah.
Not until, I don't know when it started.
Okay, so 4 years. So for 4 years, you did not date anybody. For 4 years, you did not date anybody.
You said date. You didn't say anything about hanging out.
No, so what's the difference?
Well, I spent time with people, but there was no promise of pursuit.
Like there was no establishing of a relationship, but was there like a mutual understanding? Like, hey, we kind of feeling each other.
No, actually, there was nothing. It was like, I know you. I want to invite you to this event. Will you come with me? And
that's the gentleman saying to you?
Yes.
Or you? Okay.
And I'm like, sure. So yes, I did have lots of crushes that was never communicated.
Yeah.
I kept it to myself.
I bet not find out.
You better not find out. Ooh. Anyway, you know almost all of them. Anyway, so did that answer your question?
Yeah, it does answer my question. You have any questions for me?
Did you have similar struggles, or was your experience completely different because of where you were when you became a believer?
You're talking about in regards to dating, or just in general?
Just as a person who is now a believer, and now dating could happen, but you're a believer now. Like, how did you wrestle with?
Well, yeah. When I became a Christian, I had a girlfriend who wasn't really trying to live the life that I was trying to live, and so it was tough, but I had to figure out how to break that relationship off. She was actually living with me, so that was a struggle. And so I was so dead set on trying to live a righteous life that I said, I will move out this apartment and move into the dorm. So I literally left my apartment, moved into the dorm with a bunch of Christian brothers just to try to figure out what does it look like to live righteous. And so there were girls that I liked. There were girls who I knew liked me. And at Tuskegee, it was just, people were just being passed around in a very godly. I don't know if you could be passed around in a godly way. Hold up, let me edit that. And it was a point where I was like, I probably should just focus on trying to grow in God. But it was about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, for which I had no real like serious relationship. And then I had met.
Wow, wow. Wow, wow.
I was like, who this older woman coming through? Looking like Halle Berry. I'm going to post a picture looking like Halle Berry.
No,
I'm going to put the
don't do
picture up.
that.
Yes.
No.
Had the short hair. You wasn't as thick as you are now, though, but you was fine. You was fine now.
Quickest way to end a marriage is to post old pictures. Don't do it.
I'm definitely posting this picture. I'm going to post our marriage, one of our wedding pictures.
Okay.
You, the one in the red shirt. The one in the red shirt
Okay.
where I'm behind you. How about we post that? You let me.
That's fine.
Okay. And so yeah, I didn't know how to necessarily date. So I just trusted the counsel around us who said, hey, just get to know people as brothers and sisters in the context of community. And so that's what I tried to do. I was just like, well, let me get to know people as we are fellowshipping together. And if I find interest in one of them, I'll let them know. And
He took that to a whole nother level.
oh, I was out there getting to know all the ladies. If you gonna tell me to get to know ladies, I'm gonna go out there and get to know them.
Yeah.
And it's not my fault that they start feeling me. I just was like, the command is to get to know you. All right. So
Well, the opposite of that was no thanks from me.
So here's the context. It's the year 2000. 60 students are on a college campus during the summer. They're spending their summer at the summer project. Throughout the day, we work jobs. And then at night, we come back and we do like these biblical leadership training. And so she was one of the students. So I'm out there getting to know not only the gentlemen, but I'm getting to know ladies as well. You're one of the few women that I don't know at the summer project. So I asked her, I was like, hey, would you like to go hang out? And she's like, nah. And I'm like, this son of a... First of all, you ain't that fine to be out here acting like... This is my first introduction to her. First time I saw her and her friend Cache were in the parking lot working out in front of everybody.
Lies.
Working in front of everybody. They know
Lies.
everybody's pulling up. It's the first day. We pulling up. Why are you working out in front of you? You're just trying to show off.
Lies. We were in the very back on the other side of
On
the
the back
building.
where everybody was parking. So everybody saw you. I guarantee we could take a poll. Everybody saw you guys working out. So that's the point. Second,
And we were on the other side of the car. Now, if you guys are just that in tune to where women are and their body parts are because they're moving around, that's on you. Okay? We were on the other side of the car.
now she calling us perverted.
Yes.
So we had a mutual friend, Monte, and he introduced me. He's like, I got a homegirl who draws, and she's drawing my album cover. And I was like, oh, I would love to meet her. So I'm silly, right? I'm kind of gregarious, and I'm a little immature. I'm not going to lie.
I'm sorry. I just don't throw that out there. I know big words. Okay, go ahead.
So I approach her. I'm like, hey, I heard you draw. She's like, yeah. I was like, would you be able to draw a picture of me? And she was like, if I want to, and walked away. And I was like, oh my gosh, number 2, strike number 2. She's not denying this one. You see, she's not denying this one. After I asked her the first time, would she like to hang out? She was like, nah. But then she saw your boy out here doing the Lord's work, being a leader, being awesome.
It wasn't the second time either, so just to get that in context.
She knew if she spent too much time with me. Yes, she knew if I orbit anywhere around this magnet, I'm gonna get stuck. And she wanna get stuck on your boy. I get it, girl. I get it.
First of all, I couldn't handle much more of you at the time. You were a lot.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Good Culture Game Show. Good Culture Game Show. We have a very, very lively studio audience. We have some wonderful guests with us today, Jeremiah. Some friends of ours. We have Elizabeth and we have Caleb. And on this episode in which we're celebrating relationships, we have a couple that is going to compete. Did you guys know you're competing against one another?
I don't know much of anything, but I'm gonna win.
Good. The less you know, the better for us. So basically, the Good Culture Game Show is here to test your knowledge on all things good culture. Okay?
There's 5 questions. I have some wonderful gifts for the winner. And those 5 questions are very, very simple questions. Would you agree, Jeremiah? Would you agree that these questions are very easy?
I would agree that they're simple.
They're simple. They're simple, but yet complex. All right. So because Elizabeth, you're the lady, we're gonna have you go first. Okay. And like I said, very simple questions. Don't think too deeply about this. Okay. The first question is a who am I question. And we do this every single episode. There's always a who am I question. So I'm going to read the questions to you, but if you have any question about what I've read, the question will actually be on the screen behind you. And for some of them on multiple choice, the multiple choice options will be on the screen as well. This first one is a who am I question, okay? So let's go ahead and throw that up on the screen. First question. This icon and songwriter wrote many classics, but also had a very destructive love life that changed the public perception of them. Who am I?
I don't even get a gender. It's just them.
It's just them. Yes. We are just throwing pronouns out here. Many songs, many classics.
Many classics.
Classic, not just songs, but classics. Right. And you know these. I know.
Destructive love life. That's like everyone.
Okay, so just throw somebody out there. Give me somebody.
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. That is a great answer. Is that a good answer?
That's an insanely
the audience,
answer.
This audience thinks that's a good answer?
That is an insanely good answer.
That is incorrect. Although it was great, it's incorrect. Caleb.
I think Elizabeth's gonna be mad. I think at this answer, I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift.
Oh, I mean, has the public changed their perception of Miss Taylor?
I feel like they've changed. I feel like they've gone back and forth a lot. I feel like she has made the public change.
Who's gone back and forth?
This is an argument.
This
is juicy, right?
Don't get the Swifties mad.
Caleb, back up. Backpedal. Backpedal, Caleb.
I'm digging in. Even if it's a bad answer, now I'm digging in.
Caleb, back. Lesson number 1. When you're losing the fight, backpedal. Apologize and backpedal. All right. Taylor Swift. What do you think about that one?
That's not as good of an answer as Britney Spears.
It's not. And I'm not going to even act like it was a good answer. That is a terrible answer, Caleb.
The correct answer.
Who was Britney Spears involved with that changed her perception?
Justin Timberlake.
Wow,
JT.
that's crazy.
Everyone.
Okay.
Every individual.
She wrote a book about it.
I'll backpedal that one.
She just
I'll
wrote.
backpedal that.
She wrote a book about it. You didn't read the book?
It's on my to read list.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is not the correct answer. And so, Elizabeth, I'm going to give you another shot. Just one. And then if not, then I'll give you the answer.
Okay, but we don't get points if you give us the answer.
No, you don't get points for losing.
Okay.
Yeah, we do need a clock.
that's
We
the
need
one.
one.
Yeah, I
The one
know.
you're
I
thinking
know.
of-
I'm
The one
sorry.
you're thinking of is that one.
It's
that
not,
one.
but it's not.
Okay, just say it.
Michael Jackson. It's
Michael. Come on, somebody. I mean,
Yeah.
I hate to say it.
Respectfully, Michael Jackson.
Respect. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Michael Jackson.
Respectfully, Michael.
Yeah.
Because nobody better not say a bad word about Michael. But unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is King David. King David is the proper answer. I am sorry to inform you that he wrote many classics. You know his songs. You know him, right? And his love life was very destructive. Would you agree?
I agree. I see how this game goes now.
Okay, yes. There you go.
All right.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
There you
Okay.
go.
Well, since you know how this game goes, and speaking of David, this one's a little bit easier. And Caleb, will give you the opportunity to go first. This next one is called Song of Solomon, Psalm of David, or R&B song. I'm going to give you a lyric, and you have to let me know which one is it. The lyric goes like this. We can't lose with God on our side. We'll find strength. Is that a Song of Solomon, a Psalm of David, or just a good old R&B song?
I think I'm gonna go with R&B.
Are you sure?
On that one.
I need you to be confident about this.
You know, yeah, I'm going with it. I'm going with it.
I'll give you 2 points because you're correct. I'll give you 2 points if you can figure out what song it is. You may need some help from the audience. If somebody can just hum the melody for me, help this man out.
don't know if that's helping
I'm
or
going to
not.
say this. I mentioned him about 5 minutes ago.
I'm just thinking about.
I'm going to
David
say
right
this.
now.
Think happy birthday.
Can I go?
Yes.
Stevie Wonder.
Come on, somebody. Good job. Good answer. Good answer. So she stole a point from you. So it's tied up. It's 1-1. This next question is going to test how you understand or it tends to challenge your hermeneutics of culture. Okay. And I think this is quite important, Jay. I think we need to understand how to properly interpret culture. So this section is called "What is this theology?" Okay. And since we're talking about relationships, let's use an example from someone who's trying to find a relationship. Let's imagine. Let's go ahead and throw that up there. Let's say your Uncle Charlie sees a beautiful woman walking by, and he says, "Lord, if Eve looked anything like you, I would have eaten the apple too." Now, apart from this being a form of Christian catcalling, in the halls of seminary, they would say this is that type of theology.
Who gets to answer?
I went first last time, so.
Elizabeth, what was this?
This is flirt to convert theology.
I like that answer. I love that answer. Flirt to convert theology. But unfortunately, that's not correct. But it's close. I'm going to write that down. I will write that down. Flirt to convert theology. Do you have a biblical principle or a biblical doctrine that this would actually fit? He's just demonstrating he's seeing the.
I pass. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't think of one.
Do you have an answer? Do you have a second answer?
I don't have a second answer.
It is the image of God. He's just admiring the image of God.
Crazy.
That's Imago Dei.
That's Imago
Just
Dei.
Imago
Yeah,
Dei.
It's Imago Dei. That's all he's doing. That's what I would say. He's just he's just loving the image of God. All right, so right now still 1-1. Caleb, this is for you. This question is called, what is the correct response? Okay. This is a multiple choice. So you'll have some options here. All right. And you and your date have decided to go out for dinner. And you ask her what her preference is, and she says she wants you to choose. What is she really saying? Is she saying, I want you to pick a spot because this is a test of your leadership skills and judgment? Does she really want you to starve to death because she wants to test how much you're willing to sacrifice for her? Is it C, she wants you to create a thorough pros and cons list and deliver it through PowerPoint presentation? Or is it D, make the decision because she's truly undecided. However, once you make a decision, she will immediately shoot down everyone you make.
I'm going to go with the last one. I'm going to go with D.
But there's one more. There's all of the above.
Ooh, okay, no.
He didn't even think about it.
I'm gonna go with E, but with a strong
emphasis on D.
last one, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
E?
This
Are we
is
going
not
with
an
E?
attack. You're looking like this is an
It
attack.
seems like it is because you were very confident. You were certain.
This is a purely hypothetical question, right, Caleb?
Exactly. That's how I was thinking about
And
it.
you went with E, and I will have to say you were absolutely correct. All of the above, because that's definitely what happens. We know women. We know how they do it. And
What's my question?
What's that?
What's my question?
You don't
I'm
get
ready
one.
for it.
You don't get one. You don't get one.
Very
I got ready for
eager.
math.
She's very eager to earn her points
This
back.
is a very sexist show. All right, so we're gonna move on to this next one. This next question is okay. This is a multiple choice as well. All right, so this is also a very what is the correct response? Okay, so you're attending Mount Carmel Missionary Baptist Church.
All right, pay attention.
Usher Renee Perkins stands up amongst the brothers and the sisters, and she says, "Pray for me, saints. I was speaking to Sister Anita Norman yesterday, and ... A, she communicated she needs financial assistance. B, she's been shacking up with Deacon Harris, and y'all know his divorce ain't even final yet. C, she keeps talking crazy to me, and I might have to use the right hand of fellowship. D, she's out here on the Twitter, talking bad about Pastor.
I'm gonna go with B.
She's been shacking up with. How do you know this, Elizabeth? That is the right answer, ladies and gentlemen. That is the right answer. That is the right answer. Because you know, when people do prayer requests, they really just be gossiping.
I've been to missionary Baptist churches.
Missionary. I don't even remember the total, but are we tied up?
We are. Yeah, I'm keeping track. We're tied.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? The blessing is that I got a gift for both of you guys.
Come on.
Can we, Trinity, could you please just go ahead and bring them their gifts? You guys both win a wonderful Good God t-shirt. And hopefully the size is for you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Caleb and Elizabeth.
Hey,
What's up?
let's eat out tonight.
What do you want to eat?
I don't care. You decide.
All right, so I created a cost-benefit analysis of our top 4 choices.
Okay.
The Hangout, the Table, Keisha's Kitchen, Plant and Garden. First, we have the Hangout. Ironically, not the best place to hang out. Food is quick, price is amazing, but we got to leave our jewelry at home and eat with our head on the swivel, okay? Do you have your piece on you? Excellent, excellent. Next, we have tables in Midtown. Excellent food,
Okay.
beautiful ambiance.
All right.
Appetizers, $50. Plates, $100. Parking, $200. But then we got to consider the service fee, the healthcare fee, the hello and goodbye fee, and that's a lot of money. If we go to Keisha's Kitchen, food amazing, price fair, music a little loud,
Okay.
but
The
the customer service is going to be terrible. And I'm not trying to fight nobody today, okay?
I mean, it makes 2 of us. I'm too old.
Lastly, we have Plant and Garden. It's the closest to us. It's a healthy option, but we both know that you're going to just eat cereal when we get home. So once we've assessed the data of our options, factoring in cost, time, travel, emotional stability, threat of violence, the best option for us to go tonight is Keisha's.
Stay home. You know what? We have leftovers.
All right, so we are back to have another conversation with a different group of people.
Keep it going.
And we are excited. So we're going to clap it up for our volunteers. Hey, that's a strong.
Thank you.
That's a strong clap right there.
Yeah.
Thanks to Lawrence, the producer, the unpaid, unasked producer. But sometimes you got to step up and just.
Sometimes
you got to step up.
You got to lead. You know what I mean?
And speaking of leading, how do you lead in pursuing a young lady?
Off the bat. By the way, intro real quick. My name is Lawrence.
Don't.
I just want to let him know who I am. I am single, by the way. And so
say it in the camera though.
I think
Lead by example.
hey, you feel me? That's pretty much what you do. No, I think leading in pursuing somebody, first of all, like I think as a man, we need to be assertive. So you can't expect for the girl to tell you how she feels unless you let her know how you feel. Now, sometimes you might do that, and then you might get the cold shoulder. But I think at the end of the day, the way I was taught, I heard it, and I believe this wholeheartedly, is that you need to you kind of bring them up. Like, so if you know you want to go to the next step, you kind of go there and then say, hey, in conversation, this is where I want to go. Do you want to faithfully pursue this next step? If not, then it's just not going to work out, and that's fine. And then, yeah.
All right, excellent. That's great. Trinity, as a young lady, tell us about yourself, but then also tell us how you would like to be pursued. You know what? I'm not going to assume, it's 2024, Jay. Some people operate differently than when I was in the market. That was 21 years ago. And they pursue. So I don't know. Maybe you
would never be me.
That was gonna be my question for the panel but we'll get to that.
We'll get to it, but go ahead.
My name's Trinity Branch. I'm 25. I'm single. I live in Atlanta. I would like to be pursued with consistency. That's what really bothers me. When and clarity and consistency.
Can we get a third C?
Cute.
Christ. I was gonna say. I was gonna say Christ-centered, but hey.
I'm just kidding.
Cute that's cool too.
No, but for real, clarity and consistency. I don't want to wonder. I don't want to be unsure. I don't want to be up at night thinking about what's going on or what happened. I want you to be clear, intentional. What was
cute.
Consistent.
Yeah.
She forgot her own sermon.
I
don't
sure
know.
did. It's been
She
a
don't
long
know.
time.
What if they-
Okay,
what if
it's been
they-
a long time.
She just wrote this sermon
Now,
5 minutes
is there
ago.
such
She's
thing
like,
as too consistent?
Yes.
Yes.
Good question.
That's true. Yeah, I think like at the same time there also has to be a little bit of like mystery or a little bit of like
Have a life.
yeah, like
Women
don't
don't
be too
know
desperate.
what they
This is
want.
what-
Nah.
I need it to be
Exactly.
very
Cap.
clear, but I don't
Hey,
want to
Cap.
absolutely know. You
That's-
know what I'm
It
saying?
needs to be
Hey.
a little clear.
I want someone who's committed, but kind of
They
not.
could leave at any moment.
Committed,
I
but
want
cheats.
somebody who's
Hey, wait,
nice,
sorry,
loving,
sorry,
but they
sorry.
act like a thug. They be just,
Exactly.
they don't care about me.
Yes. Wait, no.
You said yes. That's
No, I'm
crazy.
saying like you can act like a thug, but not to me, but to someone else.
Somebody
Hello?
else.
Hey,
I want
yo.
you to thug on everybody
Yes.
else.
That's crazy.
It's
That
true.
thug's gonna come out on you too.
It's
That's
true.
what I'm saying. You,
It's
you
true.
can only contain a fire so much, is what I'm saying. All right, so Ben, my brother, on the end, come on now.
Yeah,
Talk to the people.
my name is Ben. I'm from New York. I live in Charlotte. It's complicated.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Share a little bit, just a little bit,
Yeah, unpack that.
if you want to.
I am separated, married but separated. I have no idea what it's like to date as a Christian. So that's a good question. I have no clue.
Yeah.
So I'm learning that.
Yeah.
Actually, right now. Yeah.
And in that, what's the biggest thing you're learning in this process?
To know myself, and to have friends that I can walk in the light with, I can share my life with, because I think one of the issues in my marriage was the fact that I didn't have people. It was always like a lot of things were locked up that I wasn't able to share with my wife because it's too much. You don't share everything, and didn't have guys I could just go and talk to about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
Sorry to
Jeremiah-
bring it down.
What'd you say?
I said sorry to bring it down.
No, but I the reason why I asked you to be a part of this is because I think you have good insight, and I think because of the your situation, there's a potential that you will be on the dating market again, and I think it's important for somebody who's had your experience, like you said, you've never dated as a Christian, so now it's like, well, this is a whole new world. Not only that, you're older, you've had experience with being in a relationship, so it's like, how do I not bring those expectations into this new relationship that I'm pursuing? Because oftentimes that's what gets us in trouble. Like, is bringing expectations from other people into relationships, and that person don't know. It's Eric Badu's bag lady. Look, you gonna have to let go of them bags. Like, you can't. It's only one carry on. So, is it possible for you, Trinity, if you don't pursue, could you tell us, or the gentlemen who are interested online, how do you allow a person to know that you are interested and available? Like, how do you flirt, I guess, is the...
Don't give all the secrets though.
I think it depends, but for me personally, if I come up to you and talk to you like a lot,
Oh, it's obvious. Okay.
come on, because I
That's
don't
not
really come.
obvious.
That's not obvious?
I mean, I'm just saying it's
Not to a
obvious to
guy.
her.
Yeah.
But
To
not
me, that's
you.
very obvious
Not
because
to
I don't
men.
come up and talk to I come up and talk to people like, oh, hey, how's your day? That's it. But if I'm coming up to you, asking you questions and trying to talk to you for real, then I think that's obvious to me. I don't know.
That is a woman's mentality for sure.
I have gotten embarrassed because of stuff like that because I thought that was the case and it wasn't. And
They're just being nice.
They
you
were
say?
just being nice.
They're just being
It's up to them to,
Christian
to do the
sisters. Just
discerning.
like,
I don't know.
did you read your Bible this morning? Like, oh, yo, she feeling me, dog. You go back. We talked about Ezekiel, cuz we was like the wheel and the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
This the
Okay,
this
wait.
is
Let
the
me
real
add
answer.
to it.
Hold on,
no.
hold on.
Let me add to it.
This is the real answer. The real answer is he's got to shoot his shot and hope he don't get shot down.
Bottom
That's
line.
the real answer.
Bottom line.
But back to my question, I want to hear from
Yeah.
the men. Like, what do y'all feel about that? Just the concept of if a girl was basically like, you're not catching the hints, so I'm gonna just say yo, I want to do I want you to pursue me or whatever it is. Like, I want to date. Like, let's make something happen. What y'all feel like?
That's weird to me. That's weird because I don't want. It feels like too much pressure. Number one, feels like what's wrong with you? Like there's no other guys that
Now you know
that
what
are-
women feel
That
like.
is
There's no other guys that you're interested in or are pursuing you, like, and then why not? Is it because are you crazy? Like what?
Crazy.
You gonna miss your blessing. This woman
That's
is
crazy. I know, right?
These are the
Maybe she just infatuated. She
These
said,
are the
"Oh, I
things
see
that
his
go through
swag.
my
I see
mind.
how
She
he
don't see
move."
nobody else but you.
That's great. Why?
She said, but he said,
Hey, look,
he said,
that's
but
real.
why
though.
are you
Why?
interested
Real
in me?
That's
Because
real.
you know what it is? Because women daily have like thousands of men talking to them, trying to catcall or just trying to get their
true,
numbers.
especially in
So,
Atlanta.
Yeah,
At the gas
right,
station.
Right. So it's kind of like, okay, but now you're pursuing me. I'm sure there's a bunch of other guys that could be candidates that are interested in you. Like, why now are you putting this energy towards me when you could just fall back and see if I'm interested? Like the
Lawrence,
rest
how
of
do
the
you
guys.
feel about this? Because I'm struggling right now with his answer. I get it, but I'm struggling.
Yeah. So so in my opinion, if you're like what Trinity's kind of talking about, I'm not fully mad at it. I'm like, hey, you know what? I can pick up on it, but I think that's very specific. Like Trinity's talking about that, and you have to remember, just for everybody out there, it's like, hey, I'm observant, so if I notice that she ain't giving somebody else attention and she's giving me attention, I'm like, all right, bet. If I'm interested, I'm gonna do my thing. So I think in that light, I'm like, I don't really mind if I'm like, oh, I can pick up on the fact that like, hey, I should probably make a move. Now if it's the other way around, I really, in my mind, I just think if the girl asks a guy out on a date, that's why I think about your question. It's like if she comes up to the guy and says, "Hey, I'm gonna take you on a date," then I'm like, we got problems already. Because I'm like, because already like I think culturally it's shifted.
Right.
And we talked about this with the first panel as I was listening. It's like the problem is there's so many passive men,
Yes.
and women feel like they have to step up and lead.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, hey, if she's like, hey, you're not catching the signals, like I just want to let you know, and you make it clear to me that you're interested in me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I'm not mad at it. Just all right, cool. Like, and if I'm interested, that's
Right.
we both have to be interested.
Obviously.
I'm cool.
But so to Jeremiah's question, you don't have a problem with her pursuing you. You have a problem with her taking the next step by saying, "Hey, let's go out on a date."
I think to that point,
Because I was under the impression
He's saying. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I will.
Is she gonna hand over the keys when it's time?
That's what
Or
I was
is
gonna
she the
say.
one that
I feel
always
like
wanna
it's
drive?
a difference between
Is
like
that what's gonna happen?
initiation and pursuing.
that's what I'm saying. Like I
okay.
thought you. So I'm assuming. Like so, Ben, when I thought you was critiquing, I thought you was just critiquing the initiation.
No, I was
Okay.
speaking specifically to your pursuit. Yeah.
Got you.
Because he did say, I'm like, if you initiate
I just used
to
the
me,
word y'all was using.
yeah.
I just mean
Well, when I mean
initiate.
It's all
pursuit as
good.
well, like if a young lady was to just to communicate interest, like, hey, I've been noticing you, and I wouldn't mind like spending
Yeah.
some time.
Yeah. then
Is
if
that
I'm interested.
is that too much?
No.
Okay.
I know people that's like, nah.
Yeah,
She need to sit and wait.
I get that.
So that's why I was wondering what was the consensus in the room.
Yeah, those are probably also the same people that don't know how to catch a hint.
All right. Well, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. You brought up that there are women out here who are more aggressive because men are passive. Do you think men are intimidated by women who have careers, who are maybe more further along in their, I guess you can say, careers or social status than they are? And would you feel intimidated if a young lady was throwing you hints, but say you knew she made more money than you knew that she was more stable than you? How would you feel about pursuing this? Somebody said it's easy. He said,
Bro,
my
shit,
man
shoot,
said,
I'm a
"Look."
stay-at-home dad.
Can I answer this like a somewhat tame version of me and Jeremiah's conversation would be?
Dude, yeah. Just,
All right.
you know.
Well, all right.
I
That's good.
want to hear the untamed version.
No.
Crazy.
No. That's no. Yeah. I was about to say something super wild, but I think I don't have a problem with financial status. Like, and that took like previous relationships, just learning and being asked the question of like, hey, how would you feel if I made more money than you? At the time, I was like, but then I kind of I grew out of them like, hey, were you?
And you were like, that's gonna be hard to do, baby girl.
Yeah. No. She was definitely gonna make a lot more money than me.
Try.
Get in the bag.
But I have absolutely like you. If you are insecure of who you are as a man, then I think yes, that would be a problem. And I do think to answer your question very shortly is that most men, I believe nowadays, are more intimidated.
Right.
I think.
Yeah, I would agree with you that most younger men.
Yes.
I think because I have done it. I've dated women that made more, and I've dated women that made less. I think it depends on the woman because she can, she has control over how she responds to you as her man, whether or not she's going to be disrespectful, whether or not she's going to allow you to lead. All of those things are pretty much up to her. And if she can't do that, if she can't allow you to do that, then yeah, I think you move on.
Absolutely.
Jay, go ahead. Jay, what are your thoughts on this? How are you personally?
Like I said the first time, is she willing to hand over the keys, or do she want to stay in the driver's seat?
Exactly.
That's really what it comes down to.
Exactly.
Right.
And it's not. And I want to say though, that's not to a point of like being disrespectful to her. It's just like, yo, like to what you just said. If you're going to make more money than me, and every day remind me that you make more money than me, first of all, I'm out. Like I don't need that. I know who I am, and you don't respect who I am. So giving me the keys doesn't mean to be like disrespectful and like she has to be everything I say. But it's like just respect me as a leader.
All right, so this one is Trinity, but also the brothers. You can speak to this. Well, actually, Trinity, do you have a perspective on that last question? Do you think men are intimidated by women who seem to be somewhat independent and have thriving careers?
Yes. But I would agree that it's typically insecure guys.
Yeah. All right, so let's flip it. Do you feel like women have unrealistic expectations when it comes to men they're trying to? All right, there we go.
No. Well, I don't.
Okay.
Well, I think
You need to qualify what unrealistic.
Well, just I'll give a little anecdote. I've been in particular spaces where there have been single women and single men, and the single women would constantly say, "Oh, there are no available men," while at the same time there are wonderful brothers that are just right there, and I'm just like, well, what's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Now, granted, they may not be the coolest individual, but these people own homes. They have great jobs. They love the Lord with all their. They are going to be wonderful husbands. Great husbands. You look like there's some shame in you right now.
Okay, change my answer to yes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yes.
All right. Speak to this.
What I was going to say before you qualified it, I think that a lot of times these days, I think the bar is kind of very low when it comes to guys these days. So I am led to feel like I have unrealistic expectations by just expecting what is normal.
All right, so why is the bar low? Like, what do you mean by the bar is low?
I think the bar is low because, like, for example, opening the door for me is pretty normal, but a lot of, like, I've been on multiple dates when a guy did not open the door for me.
Just no chivalry. None whatsoever.
Just none at all, And it's like carrying my bag. Like I went out with one guy and I had to put my bag in the trunk because we were at like Ponce or something. And then when he brought me back to my house, he just like popped the trunk open and was like, okay, you can get your bag.
Like an Uber driver.
Yes, a bad one. The Uber driver at least gets my bag for me, So I think like in those instances, I do kind of, when I'm talking to my friends, I'm like, dang, like maybe I need to lower my standards because the guy won't even like text me back, But yeah, that's what makes me think that I have unrealistic expectations when really it's just the bare minimum that's not getting met.
Okay. Well, I don't, so I'm not speaking about that. I'm not speaking about dudes who are just terrible trash men. I'm talking about when there are good brothers in your circle or before you and you overlook them because of some Idris Elba preacher that you're trying to say. Like
preacher?
that's what. Like yeah, a dude who's
Pastor Michael B. Jordan.
Pastor Michael B. Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, like that's what I'm talking about. The brother does no wrong and he has an 8-pack. Like that's just.
And he's also add in height. He's got to be 6'7".
Yes, he's got to be.
I think
Lawrence,
I don't think it's unrealistic because like
you don't think Pastor Michael B. Jordan that's 6'7"
okay, well
with
that is, yes. But I'm just
Because
saying
Michael B. Jordan's not 6'7".
exactly.
yeah, but that's different, okay? That is an exception, okay? But I think like a guy like it doesn't matter what he most of the time it doesn't really matter what he looks like or whatever.
You're lying. You just said cute.
No. It
Cute
does.
was one of your C's.
Call her on it.
He will grow on you. You know, like a lot of times.
like warts.
She meant that.
That sounds like a mole.
She meant that in the nicest way possible.
I do. I really do. Like guys,
I hear you.
unsuspecting guys have grown on me before. You know.
Okay, yes.
And if I'm around you all the time and you have all the things and you still haven't grown on me, then that's not unrealistic. That's just not. That's just not it.
All right, so Lawrence, I feel like there's a vent coming out of you. I feel like there's a Kanye rant.
I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna let him speak on it a little bit.
That's crazy.
He said, "I don't know how to control my anger."
He talked
right
to
now."
his PR team before he stepped up here.
I did.
They was like, "Don't speak on that one."
Don't speak on it. He said, we ain't gonna pass it out. All right, so I think I asked. Well, 2 more questions. Is there a first date no that you have? Like, it's
They didn't get this question yet.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if you don't open the door for me, I automatically want to go home. I'm not gonna lie.
Is there another one other than opening?
Yes. I've had someone say they love me on the first date.
What?
I'm not even lying. That's a huge no-no.
No, they didn't. You knew them, obviously.
Jeremiah?
You knew them.
No.
Did I lie?
She was on one of them app thingies.
Mm-hmm.
And bro showed up ready to fall in love, I guess. I don't know. It was love at first sight, I guess.
We need to have a conversation with this brother because he's out here ruining his life.
Hey, look.
So, brother, if you're
Here's
watching
the
this,
thing. She was telling me about him. I was like, look, I could take him under my wing. Then he said, I love you. And I was like, look, I'm going to have to knock him out if he show up again. You know what I'm saying?
For y'all who don't know, Jeremiah and Trinity are brother and sister. So, yeah. That is deep. He didn't mean like in the Lord, I love you in the Lord. No. Like he wasn't singing a song.
Well, come on. Let's go further into the story. She called him and said, "Did you mean to send that?" And he said, "Yeah."
Yes. Yeah. He said, "I just believe that when you feel it, you should say it." He said, "I wasn't trying to scare you, but I said, well, you did scare me," and I blocked him. So that was it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
but a serious one.
He's wearing somebody's skin right now. Right now.
Yo.
But I do have a serious one. I think for me, if we are going out, like the topic of conversation is really important to me. If you're not talking about anything of substance, and if I believe you to be a Christian and I don't hear anything of the Lord come out, if you don't volunteer, like I like to wait and see if they're gonna like pray before we eat or like volunteer to pray or whatever or talk about their church or anything like that. If we go the whole night and I don't hear a single
What if he
evidence,
does this? What if he says, "Let's pray"?
Okay.
Shandalabo, shanananabas.
Hey, no. Go ahead. What you say?
Lawrence, first date no-nos.
Yeah, there's probably a few, but I would say the biggest one would be if there's like no balance. Like if we can't match each other in the sense of like, bro, if I can't go out and have fun and enjoy each other as well as like, obviously we got to be both Christians.
How will you know that on the first date? Like, are you taking her to like the batting cages? Like, I was like, what is?
That's crazy.
Man, I'm not going to the batting cages, bro. Like,
but I'm just saying.
No, I think you can tell. Well, I feel like I'm kind of selective, so I'm gonna know before going in. I'm not gonna waste my time going on a date with somebody who I know I'm gonna be bored with.
Gotcha.
So
it's like good chemistry.
Yeah. Essentially good chemistry, and then also if you're trying to run my pockets. Nah, you can keep moving, bro. I'm not trying to drop $200 on the first date. So,
all right.
Yeah, I think the key to that is to have the date already pre-planned within budget. Then you don't have to worry about her running your pockets.
Come
okay,
on.
date's over because these are the things that I have planned.
Hold on, he dropping gems.
Yeah.
No,
I
he's
see
right.
members in the
He's
audience
right.
taking notes.
He said, "Come with a gift card."
Yeah, come with a gift.
He said, "Look, it's $200 on this thing. Spend it how you want." It's all right.
He said, "I already circled what you gonna order, and this is what
I
I'm
will
gonna
say
order."
though,
And
I
you
will
go
say
ahead.
that is a great answer, but you gotta remember where we're at, and we're in Atlanta. So to
That gratuity.
just walking outside, you didn't spend $100. So it's like, you know what I mean. So context, but you're in Charlotte, so it's a little bit different.
All right, so Ben.
Yeah,
no-nos.
I think one of the big no-nos is like chewing with your mouth open. Like that's. Please don't ever do that.
So anyway,
Huge no.
being rude to the servers, I hate that. Like that's a telltale
key.
sign. And then
That's key.
Yeah, I think what everybody else said in regards to conversation, like don't be boring.
First of all, it's been a blessing, and you guys are some wise folks. So thank you for joining us. I'm sure people are blessed by it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
Thank you for having us.
But yeah, so anyway, once we started dating, what was some of the pros and cons of how I dated you?
I would say the pro for me, the very, very top thing was that Byron knew you. And that Byron was over you and was responsible for your spiritual growth and development. And I trusted Byron with my everything at the time, you know, and so that carried more weight than many things. The second thing is I have weaknesses and Achilles heels when it comes to my personality, things that I'm not strong in, and I admire greatly people who are great at the things that I'm afraid to do. And so because it was his job to be over the outreach program, something I hated doing, like, and he just head first into it, and to see his passion, to know that people needed to grow and needed to hear the gospel. There was a side of him that I saw that day that was passionate about the Lord and make sure people didn't leave this earth unless they knew him. And so I decided to take a step back, and I said to myself, that day, which was a Saturday, if he asked me to hang out again, I would say yes. I would see what he's about.
Were there any cons?
Oh, everyone that knew him, they was like, can you really deal with, he's like, he's a lot. Everyone at his school said that. All the girls.
Why are these dogs hating on me?
I'm just telling
They
you.
were telling you I was a lot because they wanted me.
I'm just telling you. Anyone who found out that we hung out or that I was potentially interested in you, they was like, oh, I hate you doing a lot. And I'm like that was it. That was a response from everybody. And the fact that he was just with everybody, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to kill this nigga.
Well, I was trying to be.
I'm gonna have to kill him. I feel like because somebody's gonna crush on him, and then while we're dating, I'm gonna have to hurt him or her or both. So I was like, because I know as a young woman who just started getting to know the Lord, it is easy to develop a crush on a guy who's not out to get something from you. That's a gentleman, that's cordial towards you, that respects you, your boundaries, and that there was no ulterior motive for him being nice to you. So girls that aren't used to guys who are just being nice and respectful, they'll easily just gravitate towards him. And I know that. I mean, we all came from that. So when you find something that's not what you're used to, you just want to get a hold to it because you don't know if you'll find another one. So I was like, okay, that will happen. Then I'll have to smack him.
I think the struggle that I had, and I think a lot of gentlemen struggle with this even today, is that you want affirmation and you want every girl to like you, but you don't want to like every girl. You just are like, oh, I just want to be loved, but so you give energy that's almost like, feel me, but you're not going to reciprocate it. And it took a while for me to realize, like, that's unhealthy, you know. But the thing I loved about your dating process is there really was no dating process. You were like, either if we date, we're going to date to get married. And you were very clear about that. And she's older than me, and so that kind of intimidated me because I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to just really settle down. And
I gave you the out before we left.
you did.
I gave you the out.
You were graduating. She was graduating about 6 months after I met her, and I was not graduating. I was not even close. And so I knew she was ready to pursue like career and life, and but I didn't want to lose her, so I said, "Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this." And I wasn't. And I wasn't.
I was like, we could be friends. Like, there's no need to feel like.
Say I'm just a friend. And yeah, and so I failed. I messed up, and we broke up for a while, and it took a while for me to get myself together, and then I pursued her again. And this time I told her, I was like, "Look, I'm serious though this time." And so I said, "Look, if I promise you, if you move out to Texas, we will get married. I won't." And then I didn't necessarily have a date, but I said, "I'm going to propose to you." And the day you were moving out was the day I surprised you with the proposal. That boy was so smooth with it too. I'm not going to even hold you, as the kids say.
You know, my dad blew your cover, right? I knew it was happening. I didn't. For all these years, I never told him, but I knew.
And you choose right now to tell me. I gotta. Are you serious right now?
My dad said something and it was like, he asked me, like, "Do you really like this young boy?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like him." He was like, "Okay, I'm gonna let you pursue whatever this is he got planned for you." And I was like, "Okay." And so it kind of gave me pause.
You lucky your dad is dead right now, because we would fight. I would go fight him right now. My dad's dead too, so we just solidarity. Let's solidarity one time for the dead fathers. All right, well, cool. Any last words? What kind of advice would you give the people out there who are dating?
Patience. Be patient. Just be patient. What God has for you is for you. Stop settling. Just be patient.
Yeah, man.
That's be patient.
So don't just pursue any relationship. All right. So, one of the pieces of advice I would give is that imagine the person you're dating and think about the worst version of that individual and say, am I willing to die to myself to fight through the tough times with that person, not the best version of that individual? Because oftentimes when we think about people, we think about them in the best version of themselves. But people evolve and people change, and people don't always perform on an A level. Sometimes we bring our C, our D game, and even our F game. And so can you love this person? Could you pursue this person in light of them being the worst version of themselves? Now, I'm not talking about an extremely terrible individual. I'm just saying the individual who can be selfish sometimes, the individual who can be mean sometimes, who can be difficult, who is, so... And you have to allow time to discover that person too. Because if you never get to see the shadow of a person, then I don't think you're really in a dating process. And so if you can see the person and say, look, yeah, I've seen the worst of them and I still want to pursue a relationship with that individual, I think you're in a good place.
No, I agree. Because that leads me to my next thought, which was getting to know people in a group setting and allowing yourself and them to be who they are without the pressure of having to perform in case someone could be interested in them. So they have to make sure the best version of them is always present and accounted for. When in reality, that's just a false perception of someone that you'll marry whom will not remain the same 24 hours a day. And that being said, we're all human. We'll fail. We'll change. Like you were saying, like life will happen, and a certain version of us will surface. Just sitting back and just watching people, and just become a people watcher. And once you see them react and respond to situations, you may think they're a bit immature, or there's potential. So
that's cool. Here comes our son. Hey, you cute.
Keep it real.
You cute.
It's your color. It's mustard.
Yeah, it's mustard. I'm about to be some mustard. Thank you for joining Good Culture. You, my ma'am, are Good Culture.
I'm excellent culture.
You are excellent culture.
Come and find me, dear future babe. I'm praying for ya every day, dear future husband. Come and find me, dear future babe. I'm praying for ya every day, dear future husband. Come and find me. I'm praying for ya, I'm waiting for ya, and I hope that you're praying for me too. I'm thinking of ya, can't wait to meet ya, and I hope that you're thinking of me too. I see my future with your love, and vows between the two of us, a couple children with your love. I got you and you got us, dear future babe. I'm praying for ya every day, dear future husband. Come and find me, dear future babe. I'm praying for ya every day, dear future husband. Come and find me. I can't wait to meet ya, do things together. I wanna make some memories with you. Me can't wait for know ya, be my forever, and we can build a legacy, us two. I see my future with your love, and vows between the two of us, a couple children with your love. I got you and you got us, dear future babe. I'm praying for ya every day, dear future husband. Come and find me, dear future babe. I'm praying for ya every day, dear future husband. Come and find me.
All right, so this has been a wonderful show. This has been a wonderful day. Jay, do you have any thoughts about the panel discussions that we had?
Man, first of all, that was good culture.
It was good culture.
Yeah,
That's
some
that
good
was some
talks.
real
The
good
game show, hilarious. The discussions, you know, we fleshed out some real good thoughts. I'm interested to see what the audience thinks. I'm gonna be looking in the comments because I'm interested to see if this resonated with people. But ultimately, I think, yeah, it's just good to hear and good to express what we're feeling in terms of what we're looking for, what the landscape is, but then also just remembering that a relationship is two ways.
Yeah.
It is really multiple ways, you know, because then you're involving families, not on the first date, you know.
Don't be out there telling people you love them on the first date.
You know, but you're
That's a no-no.
thinking through how are they going to interact with people around me? When do I tell everyone around me? And all those things. So there's a lot of factors that go into dating and dating well, and we're all on a journey to figure it out unless you're married and then you're figuring out how to be married well.
First of all, thank you guys for watching the Good Culture Show. One time for our guests.
For real.
Who showed up.
The audience, the
was
guests,
beautiful.
everybody.
You can always follow me at Am I Show Baraka.
Mm-hmm.
It's my first name, Amisho Baraka, on X, on Instagram, but on Facebook you can follow me at Show Baraka.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Where can we follow you?
Saint X Jeremiah on Instagram. That's where we at right now.
You can also, matter of fact, you need to follow My Boulevard. That is MyBLVD CO on all social media accounts, but also subscribe to our YouTube page and share, you guys. Share this, comment. Just we want to increase the numbers. This is a good, I think we're putting on a good production here.
Yes, this is a good production.
People in behind the scenes are doing a great job. Trinity and Tina.
And the new addition.
My man Lawrence became, he didn't volunteer. He didn't made himself our producer. You know what I'm saying? We got brothers driving from Charlotte. We're doing good things here, and I'm excited about the content we're giving you guys. So, and big love to
sharing is the way to get the content to more people.
Absolutely.
Who need these conversations, who are looking for these conversations, and in a healthy way, because there's a lot out there. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of bad content out there.
It's a lot,
but we're giving that good content.
That's
there you go. And you can also, I mean, while you're at it, while you're subscribing to the My Boulevard page, go to Show Baraka Show, because I put stuff on that particular page that I don't put on the My Boulevard page. So we love you. We hope that you have a wonderful weekend. We are going to promise to do better next time. But until then, be joyous and do good.